to just say one last thing about what you're going to hear. You're going to hear from a hip-hop artist who at one time was called Red Baron. People also, like Dave, called him Red, and he's also was known as Mr. Tim. But I would like you to join me in welcoming Timothy Welbeck to the stage.
Y'all give it up for my wife. She did an amazing job. Go ahead, Rashida. She looked good too. Don't look too hard. Don't look too hard. Don't look too hard. But as my wife said, I'm Timothy Welbeck. I'm the director for the Center of Anti-Racism Research at Temple. I'm also an Africology professor there. Thank you. Y'all were so nice. I'm a civil rights attorney and contributing writer, all of that. But before I wrote books and essays, before I practiced law, before I taught in universities or directed a center, I rapped. Sometimes I can show you better than I can tell you, so that's what we about to do. Is that all right? Train of thought. Welcome to the Train of Thought live recording. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. What Jay said, you could be anywhere, but you're here with me tonight. I really appreciate that. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. This started off in parks after dark before it went around the world and filled up Billboard charts. It was about kids breaking, spraying on buildings before men saw potential for raking in millions. Wasn't about endorsements on stage of pavilions. It was about kids rhyming and stating their feelings. Greed is gone and corrupted the airways. Record execs proclaim genius and hairbrains. The thirst for money is gone to their brains. No one cares any longer about what they're saying. All we talk about is X and coke, sex and dope, bling bling and the gleam on the Lexus boat. If I were a white man, I would lock me up too. It's all that we ever say we be up to. We talk about the sex and drugs and sex. We bubble hard in double R's and the bubble Lex. We call it hip hop, but it's really hip. Hypocrisy's got to be more than high beats and misogyny. We're mocking God and we're robbing our progeny. We call it hip hop, but it's really hip. Hypocrisy's got to be more than high beats and misogyny. We're mocking God and we're robbing our... Paradise is lost, things fall apart. How do we restore the aesthetic, give the art to God? Major labels got us bound contractually to move units and have people tap their feet, while the reminder you're only hot temporarily. And the day that you drop in popularity, we'll find another who'll top your record selling fees and be more than happy to give you yours sparingly. Answer simplistic, we missed it. Without an artist, you can't have a big hit. Labels are able to say do what we say do. Without an artist, there's no music to get paid to. That's why change has to come from the lifeline, from those who write rhymes, not those who write checks. They don't mic check, who cares who likes it? Started in the pub before we told you to buy it. Call it hip hop, but it's really hip. Come on. Hypocrisy's got to be more than high beats and misogyny. We're mocking God and we're robbing our progeny. We call it hip hop, but it's really hip. Hypocrisy's got to be more than high beats and misogyny. We're mocking God and we're robbing our progeny. When I say hip, you say hop. Hip, hip. When I say hip, you say hop. Hip, hip. Call it hip hop, but it's really hip. Hypocrisy's got to be more than high beats and misogyny. We're mocking God and we're robbing our progeny. Man, don't they sound good? Don't they sound good? That's Dave Stevens on the guitar, Ben Bullock on the keys, Wardell Pearson killing it on the drums, Mike Clay on the saxophone. We got Miles Collier on the bass. We call it hip hop, really hip. Hypocrisy. half of a century now removed. Industry will prove to be the mending glue, pressing man together in groups amongst the spruce, holding the roots of woodlands and produce its fruit. Overcrowding the forest, the multitudes grew, people sprouting in the thousands, confounding the roofs. Islands of concrete slabs, carpeted truth, planted now forest trees to elude their roots. Soon towers scrape the skies, hardening lives, dimming the sun's radiance, darkening eyes. But even in that time, there came a heartache surprise. A sassafras sprung from the pavement, hardly alive. Dozens started in line, they were spending part of their time to watch the flower grow. They grew harder to find, none believing the ceiling was beating insurmountable odds of living after pressing through the mountainous rock. Daily, they rounded the block, astounded and shocked to see the budding leaf. People found it and watched, but they didn't know they let fall of the sunlight blocks. And just watch it grow stronger than anyone might have thought. No amount of observation could belittle their interest. They were creeping in inches, and they denied the flower the very things that built it. It was weakening daily. The flower could feel it, however, they never noticed when it shriveled and wilted. If hip hop is dead, it's only because you killed it. I said, if hip hop is dead, it's only because you killed it. It's a whole lot of folks talking about hip hop is dead. I don't think it is. But if hip hop is dead, it's only because you killed it. Welcome to the Train of Thought live recording. It's part of the Black Music series. It's made possible by Rec Philly. Give it up for Rec Philly. Made possible by WRTI. Give it up for WRTI. Made possible by WXPN. Give it up for them too. Yeah. And I got the baddest band in the land with me. That's Dave Stevens on the guitar again. Ben Bullock on the keys. Mike Clay on the sax. Miles Collier on that bass. That's Wardell Pearson on the drums. Let the drummer get some. If hip hop is dead, it's only because you killed it. Yeah. If hip hop is dead, it's only because you killed it.